Hello, Terra Lyceum, and hello, world. I'm your host, Dalva, and I'll get to the days here in just a minute because there's a lot going on. But we will be drawing cards from, oops, if I can get that turned where you can see it, The Sacred Forest Oracle by Denise Lynn. And I picked this one specifically because it says 52 cards to open energy portals of a higher dimension. And it is Halloween, so the veils are very thin. And on the inside, we have this fun little picture here of these trees. And it says, enter a secret dimension to discover the truth of your soul. So we'll see what the messages are for today, October 31st. So happy Halloween to those who celebrate Halloween. Blessed Samhain to those out there who celebrate Samhain. Tomorrow, November 1st, is All Saints Day. So happy All Saints Day to those who celebrate that. Feliz Dia de los Muertos, mi amigos mexicanos. Also happening November 1st. And then November 2nd, we have All Souls Day. So happy All Souls Day to those who celebrate that as well. So we have a lot of holiday in these 3 days. So before we get started, I'm going to show you this deck. There's the back of it. I need to turn that there so there's not so much of a glare. Sort of whimsical fairy Pegasus forest sky thing going on. And then Pegasus, yeah. We have and a unicorn. Yay! Just pull all these out, right? But we have these sort of spirits of the forest or energy that you would associate with maybe an enchanted forest in this particular deck. A lot of fairies. So before we actually get started, let's take a nice deep cleansing breath in. Let it go and let it flow. So I already have our cards out for us, just to again save some time, because there seems like there's a lot going on right now. But our first card is Enchanted Fern Grotto. So we've got this fairy lady here. It looks like she's looking at a unicorn or some other mythical creature here in this globe. And the message is refuge. So I think right now what that is pointing to is we really need to take a pause, get centered, and get clear. And yeah, the weather, especially in the northern hemisphere, is turning. It's getting a little bit colder. This feels very cozy to me. Like, get out your fuzzy blanket, get out your slippers, get out your mittens or your earmuffs or what your fuzzy warm snuggly things. Make you a nice hot cup of tea and settle in. Maybe do some journaling, maybe do some meditation, maybe do some creative writing, but some sort of activity that helps you get centered on what you want, where you're at right now, and where you want to go. And where you want to go, I would say in the short term. This feels more like 6 months ahead rather than 6 years. Like we're recharging our batteries right now. Where do you want to go? Go ahead and get clear about that now while you have the time and while you have the space to recharge. Refuge is also a place where you're safe. So go to those places. Also know that you are safe, that you are looked after by the universe. But get comfortable. This feels like getting comfortable, feeling safe, feeling like it's safe to get clear and to get centered on what you're after or what you want, particularly come springtime. And that brings us to, and I think these are activities that we're really needing to engage in. We have Starry Night, and this looks like a Native American or indigenous person here in this photo. Pines, some starlight. And the message is acceptance. And this is acceptance of yourself. This is acceptance of your life. This doesn't mean giving up self-improvement. This doesn't mean accepting horrible things out in the world and not doing anything about it. It means, again, because we're getting clear on where we want to go, get clear on who you are. and accept that in all its various permutations. Okay, this is the spiritual journey is about being a whole person, WHOLE, whole person. It's not about being as super love and light as humanly possible. Oh my God, love, light, and rainbows. Bad things never happen to me because I think that positive thoughts all the time. God, that took it out of me. Okay, but you see what I'm saying? Like, we all come across that sort of toxic positivity, or people who refuse to do the hard work of accepting themselves, knowing themselves, and they project it onto other people, or other people are bad, because they're not dealing with the parts of themselves they see as bad. You see what I'm saying? Like, we all come across these folks, right? Like, they just don't want to do the work. They're not going to do the work. And then life won't ever change for them. But this is about acceptance. Get real clear. All of us can be hypocritical. All of us have lied. All of us have done things we're not proud of. Are there parts of you that are stubborn? Are there parts of you that are lazy? Are there parts of you that you find it really hard to accept? Some people are brats. I'm a brat. I have a little inner brat. It's hard for me to accept that. My brat is selfish. It's not impulsive, but it's selfish. And that's a really hard thing to accept. Sometimes it doesn't come naturally to me to put someone else first. There. I mean, that's an admission, right? What do you have going on that you need to accept? It's who you are. It doesn't mean that it makes you bad or evil or negative or whatever other label, the lazy people want to slap on you, or the toxic positivity people want to slap on you, or, the haters want to slap on you. But what parts of yourself do you need to just accept and let them have a space at the table? It doesn't mean that you let them run the show. It doesn't mean that you don't attempt to improve yourself. It just means that sometimes I'm this. Sometimes I'm that. Sometimes whatever. And being okay with that. Okay? And remember, you're safe to do this kind of exploration. Okay? You're safe to do that. And ultimately, being in that safe space and focusing on what you really want and looking at who you really are and where do you want to be. Okay? And when I say who you are, your whole self. I will say this too, because I just to clarify, because most people tend to hide their darkness. Most. Not everybody. There are folks out there who will hide their light. I see you too. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. It's okay to give people hugs. It's okay to want hugs. All that stuff's okay. It doesn't make you weak. Alright? So just put that aside and accept that part of yourself too. Alright? Because ultimately what we're getting to, and again, this is why I feel like so much of this is planning for the spring. Frog Spirit. Renewal. This is our third card. And we have a fairy here. We have our little frog. Frog energy is about healing. Frog energy is also about transformation. I mean, we have 3 stages here: the egg, the tadpole, and then the adult amphibian. This is about adaptability. Frogs, live in water. Sometimes they come up on land. Not quite like a toad, but they're kind of back and forth. So adapting to changing circumstances, knowing where you're wanting to go, but also adapting to things that are changing as you go. Okay, accepting yourself and all your vast variety, and I don't like to even say good or bad because people are just people. There's a lot of gray there. Just accepting yourself, okay? And if it becomes difficult, I also find it's helpful to set a standard, set a conduct of behavior. This is this is who I am, part of who I am, and I'm setting a contract with myself to behave in this way because that is what I value. That's also cool too, because sometimes people are like, well, I'm just an ass, and that's just who I am, and I can't change because it's who, No, you can hold yourself to a standard of behavior. Okay? You can accept that sometimes you're an ass and still behave with honor. It's possible. Anyway, just throwing those things out there. If they're helpful to you, great. If not, discard them. If you're still struggling or you want to talk about this further, again, put those comments in the chat below. We will totally talk about this. and what that looks like. But I really feel like this is all headed toward transformation, renewal. We had that message last week, fresh starts. Get clear, get whole, okay? And the healing comes, the changes come, the renewal comes. All right? Let's just take another deep breath in. There's just a lot going on, okay? So let it go, let it flow. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week. Comments, tell us what you're celebrating, tell us who you're celebrating with, tell us what you're doing. Yeah, if the reading resonates with you, and I'm always so happy when it does, please post that in the bottom. If you have questions, if there's something like, well, you said this, what do you mean by that? Yeah, ask. Okay, that's what I'm here for. It's what we're here for. And again, I hope everybody's having a good week, and I will talk to you all again soon. Bye for now.